So my name is Joshua. I've been diagnosed with autism since I was about 3 years old. Specifically on the spectrum, I've been diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. So it's not as intense as the full autism, which more often is a lot harder to get to like where I was functioning. I know when I was younger, I always had an issue like in kindergarten and stuff like that because I never like talked to other people. I didn't care to interact with people. I always wanted to play by myself, and I was just always super monotoned, which is something that I've really tried to like fix. I've been trying to fluctuate my tone a lot more because before I would literally only use like this same kind of tone for everything. Like I sounded like a robot. I really haven't actually had many issues with autism, with my own autism, until recently. I have a job at McDonald's, which of course sucks because it's McDonald's. It all started one day when another nearby restaurant had their store closed. There was just so many people at my restaurant who didn't know where anything was because they were all from a different restaurant. And there were like only 2 people in the whole 9 hours that I worked there that I actually knew. That was like so insanely like stressful. It got to the point where like I reverted to a kid and I couldn't speak anymore because I was so like overwhelmed that I just kind of stood there. I would try to speak. I would try to say something like, oh, and we need cups or something like that. Or, like the large cups are gone. Or like if I try to say like, here's your order to the person, I literally couldn't. Like I felt like my throat was basically getting grabbed and like stopping me from talking. My hand was fully tense. So like you strain your fingers out and I was just like palm slapping the desk that was near me because that was my sign when I was little to get a break because I literally had no other way to communicate, and sadly no one there knew that. In 6th grade I had a horrible principal who encouraged bullying to the students to harass me and anyone else with like autism or like anyone on the spectrum with like any learning disability. My family was in the Air Force. My dad was in the Air Force, so I was on an on-base middle school at the time. So the principal was on a government, like a fully government regulated residential area and like school. All the military bases are literally like just a block away. She got caught from like some Facebook group with that or something. She encouraged people to bully me because one of the things that she had publicly stated was that that people with mental disabilities weren't people, which was really surprising that she got a job as a president when she says stuff like that. It was like, how was there no red flags? What? I like to use analogies so that people can more easily relate to me because I know a lot of the ways that I phrase things, it's hard for people to relate to the way that like I see things and whatnot. People are Windows or Macs and I'm a Linux, I guess. Had to build everything from scratch. Oh god. Syrmor's really scary in the shadow.
I know, Syrmor's just he's just a silhouette of his.
Wait, watch me do this. What about does it look scarier with this on?
You're like the every stranger guy from the drug PSA where he's literally a black silhouette and then he comes out and is like, you want some drugs, kids?
No kid should have to go without drugs.
Not responding to their name by 12 months of age, not pointing at objects to show interest by 14 months, not playing pretend game by 18 months, which I'm pretty sure was one of the things that I had. I didn't have much of an imagination, and I don't dream. I've had nightmares twice in my life. What was happening in the nightmares not particularly being scary. The fact that I have nightmares when I don't have dreams was the main thing that terrified.
So you just don't dream?
No. When I go to sleep and I close my eyes, I just have my eyes closed until like, okay, time to wake up. And it's the next day. Like, best that I can do, I can basically make a movie in my head now which is something that I learned to do, but that is like entirely under my control. It's all my thought, and I'm being conscious when I'm doing it. I can't have like a subconscious dream. I've never had a moment where it just goes weird and out of control. It's always just like, I have a plan for a story that I'm gonna lay down in my bed and like play in my head until I fall asleep.
So you make your own dreams.
Yeah, I make my own dreams. I have the power! Of course, people want to get treated like a person. It's the kind of thing where certain people have different ways that you can talk to them and certain ways that are effective. You gotta be calm, you gotta be like patient, of course. If you're getting stressed out, how do you imagine they feel? If you're stressing out, then they're gonna be stressed out.
If you could tell everyone in the world one thing, what would it be?
If you go through a drive-thru at a restaurant, turn your music off. It really, really isn't cool.